Myers. Please leave a message and I'll call you right back, hopefully. Thanks.
Mark, it's Luke. Give me a call when you get a chance. I sent you an email at 5:30 this morning. I had a weird dream, and the dream was the start of your documentary. It's like the first 2 minutes. It was kind of weird because it was very real. I write out kind of what happens at the start of the movie. Like it's all about delivery, and then you cut to shots like you normally do of like pizza guy and a pitcher and a mailman, and then you go into this whole thing about how to deliver a joke, and then you talk about Aaron and giving birth, and you're tying all these stories together, and you're cutting in and out. And anyway, it sounds confusing on the voicemail, but just read your email.
Rolling. You're rolling?
Yep.
Okay. So, Mark, why are you doing this documentary?
Fuck, I should have thought about these questions before.
Sometimes you want to let people know what the hell are you talking about.
In 2 months from now, my wife's gonna give birth. And before that date, I'm gonna be on stage with 3 other guys, hopefully not making a fool of myself.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I guess I'll just shut up and sit down.
I saw a thing, actually, a study that said speaking in front of a crowd is considered the #1 fear of the average person. I found that amazing. Number 2 was death. Death is number 2? This means to the average person, if you have to be at a funeral, you would rather be in the casket than doing the eulogy.
Hey, my name is Mark Myers, and yes, I'm making a documentary about trying stand-up comedy before the birth of my first kid.
What did your kid have to do with stand-up comedy?
A lot of people say, I'm going to have a kid, I'm getting married, I'm going to graduate from college, and they say, I want to do stand-up before that happens. I don't know what people are talking about. It doesn't make sense.
He's right, it doesn't make sense. Especially because I'm not the most comfortable guy. I get embarrassed around people.
Really?
Here. Yeah, I don't want I know them, I don't want them to see me. And people would describe me as a lot of things.
He's sweet,
Bright, caring,
sensitive.
loving.
Loyal is a good word.
He's just an all-around good guy.
What's the word?
Jesus. That's right, I call him Jesus.
Too perfect?
All right, I may have a squeaky clean image, but do I have the most important trait of all?
Is Mark funny?
I've never seen him be funny.
Funny? Not so much.
We like to think we're all funny, and I think Mark thinks he's funny.
You're not funny.
I think I'm funny based on averages.
I don't think you're either. I mean, if I'm going to judge.
There's nothing funny about you. Your questions are stupid. You have no idea about what stand-up's all about. You have no grasp of it. I'm not saying you don't like it. I appreciate, you'll probably cut this out.
He was right. Not about me cutting that out, but about me not knowing anything about stand-up comedy. The fact is, I've never thought about doing stand-up, ever. I'm an anxious guy and get uncomfortable in regular situations, so doing stand-up is fearful for me. So is becoming a father. So is making a movie. But this story has got a little ahead of itself. So let me back up and start from the beginning. Okay, not that far. The truth is, ever since I was a teenager, I wanted to be a dad and I wanted to make a movie. I don't know exactly why, some things you just want. I'm now 31 years old, and although I've worked in television for nearly 10 years and made some stuff I'm really proud of, I've yet to make a film. But why stand-up? Well, about 3 years ago, a friend of mine was like, hey, we should all try and do stand-up comedy. It'd be hilarious. And I was like, that'd be a wicked documentary. So I mentioned the idea to a guy I work with. His name is Shane. He's funny and has a Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf tattoo. And he was like, let's do it. But like most ideas, it was put on the back burner and forgotten about. Cut to 6 months ago, and after a year of trying, my wife wakes me up by flashing this in my face. She was pregnant. I was gonna be a dad.
I guess I've always known that he wanted to be a father, and it's probably one of the things that I loved about Mark right away.
I went out and bought a journal and started writing to my unborn child. I'm weird like that. We went to our first ultrasound and saw our baby for the first time. Or is it just a fetus? Anyway, after another ultrasound, it was finally time to tell our family and friends. And this, by far, was the best reaction.
Are you pregnant? Oh my God, Aaron!
Cut to a month ago. I was out at a bar and my buddy Sean says, hey man, I know much you wanted to make a movie, but you should really think about making a short film, or even just a trailer. I told him I had a couple ideas. I've got a couple ideas. Well, you should work on something soon before your baby comes out. I liked where his head was at, so I mentioned the idea to Shane, and he was like, F the short film, let's make that comedy doc. My brother Luke caught wind of the idea, had a dream, and left a message on my machine.
Mark, it's Luke.
And sent a check for $5,000 with a note that simply said, do this. So with less than a few months before the birth of my first kid, I decided that the due date was a perfect motivator for both me personally and the film's plot.
Oh, that'd be a good idea, Mark. Like the expectant father?
Yeah, the expecting father.
Like a 15-minute clip with 15 minutes of commercials?
No, the intention here is a 90-minute movie. Feature length.
Wow. I think that's a little long for an expectant father. I think people will get bored after the first 15 minutes. Nobody likes to see home movies.
Despite my dad's encouraging words, we had a concept, we had funding, but we were still missing a few things. 1, we had to fill out our roster. Misery loves company, so does humor. 2, we needed a cameraman, a cheap cameraman. And 3, we weren't even there yet. What do you think about doing the stand-up as well?
I thought you were going to ask me that.
The reality is, once you call a bunch of your friends and say, hey, I'm making a documentary about stand-up comedy, do you want to do it with me? They're like,
What's the commitment here?
I got way too much on my plate.
Yeah, I want to do it, but I'm going to be on tour. Can't, I'm so scared to do it.
I don't even think I'd be that funny.
I decided to switch gears, so I called our old intern, Ryan.
Hello?
Ryan. He had shot some stuff with Shane and I before, so after explaining the concept, I said, so really I'm looking for a cameraman.
Well, I'm your man, bro. I'm down.
How free is your schedule?
Like, I'm down, bro.
Sweet. That was easy.
Like, I know that there'd be potential in it for sure, and it sounds pretty funny already.
Well, just having Shane in it makes it funny, and hopefully we have Bert.
Bert.
Who the hell's Bert?
I don't know how to describe Bert. He's old and he's funny and he's got a thick Dutch accent, and we've known each other for quite a bit.
Shane met Bert 6 years ago at a Tim Hortons after Shane dropped a muffin and quickly picked it up and ate it, to which Bert replied, that must be one tasty muffin. The unlikely duo quickly became best buds, making random online videos and short films.
Shane filled the role of the son that I basically never had.
I'm just kidding.
I met Bert a few months ago on a music video I shot where Shane had him playing a 70-year-old hipster.
Everything he says is funny.
Marriage is for one night, partying is forever.
That's why it'd be good.
Please stand by while we complete your long-distance call.
You know?
Hey, it's Shane. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
What's going on, Bertie boy?
I've waited for a long time for this call.
Basically, I haven't spoken to him in a couple months, obviously. He had a leg surgery, and then I went to visit him, and then there was one weekend I couldn't visit him, and he told me to f*** off, so I hadn't talked to him since. Have you ever thought about doing stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
You have? Good. Then this is the documentary for you. It's like you could have said anything like, oh, we're going to be jumping off the Empire State Building, and Bert would be like, when do I start looking for my squirrel suit?
Well, I guess Bert's in. With one more spot to fill, we turned to the guy that actually started this ball rolling. Besides, we had heard that Sean may have just lost his job, so his schedule should have just opened up.
Hello, Shane Cunningham speaking.
Cunningham.
What's up, Menard? You seem in good spirits for a guy who just got fired.
I didn't get fired.
What happened?
Holy fuck, dude. This is like out of a fucking movie, man. So I call my mom. She starts crying. And I'm like, Mom, don't cry. And she goes, no, it's not that. I have some really bad news for you. And I was like, Mom, what's worse than coming back from vacation, hearing an apartment full who might not have a job? She's like, your dad's dying of cancer.
Oh my God, that's
and I'm
insane.
like, okay, well, how long does he have? She's like, anywhere from a week to 3 months.
Fuck, when we started this, we had no idea that was going to happen. So to hear that on a phone call, that your friend's dad's going to die is like, whew, fuck, maybe we should stop rolling on that. Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't know how to handle it, obviously, so he's like, he's like in shock, so it's like I'm in shock too, so I don't know how to... Yeah, I know Menard's dad is like, his dad's probably older than Bert. He has like a young mom and an old dad.
Yeah, my dad's kind of, been in and out of my life for, I'm 27 years old. Like, I was pretty much raised by my mom and my older sisters, and they divorced like when I was really young, when I was like 3 or 4.
Look, we're on TV. Look, Mommy's got us on TV, Sean.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Say hi, Mommy. Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Mommy.
Okay, shut it off and we'll check that out.
I don't know how to describe it other than I hope that if I have a son, we'd have a closer relationship.
Maybe talk about
why you'd like to get involved in this project.
Now I'm confused on what the project is.
What do you think the project is?
I thought the project was about you trying to make a movie before you had a kid. Now all of a sudden you're asking me about my father and death. It's kind of crazy. And I thought it was about comedy. I don't see the funny.
I'd like to provide a funny answer, but you have now tapped into my spirituality. And I believe that you do make spiritual breakthroughs through comedy. That's not funny, but it could be true.
Why don't you talk about why you're trying to do stand-up, you know? Just talk about what's really going on with yourself.
Like, I haven't lost a lot of people in my life. I've lost my grandfather and my grandmother on my dad's side. And when you lose some people that are close to you, certain things come in perspective. So it's like life gives perspective and death seems to give perspective. And we often, like, in the middle part, when everything's fine, you don't really think about it.
Start with the truth, and then tell a story.
The story of how my grandparents met is my grandfather was in the Navy, and he went to a dance, and my grandmother went to the same dance, just with a friend of hers. And the way the story goes is my grandfather was out there dancing on the dance floor and caught her eye and asked her to have a dance, and she says she doesn't dance. And his response was, "You can always try."
He came over and asked me to dance, and I told him I couldn't dance, so he said, "You can always try."
The idea that you can always try. I want to speak, but my mouth won't let me.
You can always try, he said.
Something that's so small, like dancing with somebody, like that brought my parents, my dad into the world, and it brought me into the world. So the idea that you can always try is like, I don't know, it's a big deal. So I'm having a kid, and it's easy just to be like, oh, I'm having a kid, I might as well just paint the house and get ready to have a kid. But to actually like try something that's scary is worth doing.
Why don't you just jump out of a plane? Wouldn't that be a lot easier? This is a lot of work.
There are two issues here. One issue might be called the young man's quest. And this is a theme that goes way back in history, in the 19th century. This is a common kind of novel called a Bildungsroman about young men making their way in the world. They're filled with anxiety about will they be able to master the challenges in front of them. And their mastery really depends on personal qualities that they are or not able to summon up.
I'm bringing a life into the world, and Sean's losing his dad. And within that, hopefully we learn something and hopefully we laugh about something.
You know, I'm trying to lose some weight, so we got another storyline.
Listen, jokes, people forget jokes. But they're gonna remember, he was really thin.
I don't give a shit. I'm fat. Look at this shit. I don't fucking care. Look at that. I don't care. It's just a sweaty bowl of fucking flesh. I don't care.
I don't know whether we're going to get away with 4 people who are basically not comedians, entertaining all these people without making a fool of ourselves.
I encourage you to go do it. I think everybody should try it because it really is like a soul-searching expedition. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself, and you might be hilarious. I don't know.
You don't need to film everything.
It gives me an excuse to document this time in our lives.
Laundry folding? How do I feel about Mark doing a project 2 months before I'm about to give birth and I'm trying to paint the house, get the crib, do all of these things? Please don't, Mark, not when I'm like this. Leave me alone. Get out of here if you're gonna fart. I probably bitch and complain a little bit more than normal. How about you help rather than filming? Now that I'm pregnant, but I support him.
How about this as inspirational words? The worst thing you'll ever do in your life, unless you're kidnapped, is stand-up comedy the first time.
Fear and anxiety is exactly why I don't do stand-up.
People weren't born to stand up in front of people and just start talking.
Anyway, your kindness. Shoot.
It's a terrifying thing because it's very personal.
Well, I think stage fright is a really good thing because you're supposed to be really nervous.
You're always scared, and that's what's exciting about it.
Like nuclear energy can destroy a city or it can heat and warm it, and it's all how you utilize it. I like to think that the fastest way to get rid of an enemy is to make him your friend.
Yeah, so basically we're just heading over to my dad's place right now. Yeah, he's just been kind of preparing. He's been treating this like a move. The other day I was helping him kind of pack things up, and I saw, photos of a wedding, and I had found out that he had previously been married. And, just things like that, you just I think about it, I'm like, wow, this guy's passing away, and I'm finding out things now about him. Like, he's essentially a stranger, even though he's my dad.
Hello. I've come with some visitors. Visitors? / helpers.
Well, helpers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're not hard to take. How are you?
Good, you? Good. This is Ryan.
Ryan? Yes. Nice to meet you.
And Mark.
Mark's the one that's having the baby, making the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I gave him the
Mark's
idea.
a good size, too. He can carry big boxes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big boy.
I mean, a lot of people in my life don't even know, like, if I tell them, like, hey, my father is dying of cancer, a lot of the reaction is, like, really? Like, I didn't even know you had a dad, because I never really talked about it before.
Do you agree with me on the chemo? Like 15 to 20%? Like, why be sick, if you're going to die anyway? What the hell?
I mean, I always looked at it as just, like, I wouldn't want to go out being sick,
That's what I mean, yeah. You're going to go anyway, and I'd rather go with all my faculties. And some people think you should fight it to the bitter end.
What did Mom say?
She sort of agreed with me, and
For what it's worth, I don't think you're, giving up or throwing in the towel by any means. I think you've been battling health issues for a while just to make it this far. And I don't think it's any way to go out being sick.
I got lucky with sport here. I only had to do the shitty nappy once. And I was a little late, and he had it.
This was a few years ago, by the way.
He was finger painting. It wasn't that long, though. What are you looking for, a girl or a boy?
I'm looking for a boy, but if I have a girl, I'll be just as happy.
As long as they're healthy.
Exactly. Take care.
I'm pretty sure we're having a boy, but that's just based on recent dreams I've had.
It's always weird to me when people I don't want to know what I'm having. Well, then fuck you. How about that? What are you getting me for a baby gift? I don't know. How about that?
You born funny?
Was I born funny? Fuck, I never really thought about it.
You were cracking jokes in the womb. I moonwalked out of my mom's pussy.
Isn't everyone born funny?
No, no.
I mean, you're crying, covered with goo. That's funny.
Wait, can I start all over?
All over, yeah. Do whatever you gotta do.
Yes, you're born.
Actually, according to some studies, kids laugh about 400 times a day, while adults average only about 15. So I guess we are born funny, or at least with a sense of humor.
Yes, okay, I do think you're born funny because kids are hilarious, and then it gets stomped out of you with life. Life just holds you back and makes you lose your sense of humor all along the way.
See, I told you.
I think everyone's funny. Well, not everyone.
I don't think I'm funny, am I? I don't think so.
I've only heard him ever do stuff that Shane has given him, so if he had to come up with material on his own, I would be concerned.
I'm an old man. I don't think I'm better at sports than anybody, better looking. I just think that's my one thing, is being funny.
And for those of you who think my humor is solely dependent on that of a 68-year-old man, I say, hey, catch this football.
Oh, my testicles.
Gotta stick with what works.
Hey, Sean, we gotta shoot that thing for Conestoga College today. Wake up!
That was today?
Yeah, get up.
You sure it was today?
I don't know, we always were in competition in terms of, in high school, we were known as, Sean and Shane, the two funny guys.
Yes, that is correct, Sean. In my 8 years of high school, I have never been more pepped than I am right now.
We used to have this job in a movie theater where we would do announcements, and it was always a battle to who could give the funnier announcement. And then they gave out these awards.
One was who does the best announcements, and one was who's the funniest player. I won funniest player and best announcements, and that kind of shut Sean up right there.
I think I got my humor from you. Is that a good or a bad thing?
Oh, Mark, if you got it from me, you're going to be a loser. That's bad. When I heard Mark was going to do stand-up, I thought, wow, he's got tons of balls.
One of my favorite quotes of all time in a movie was when Billy Crystal
And Mr. Saturday Night told his brother, he goes, you never had balls. You had living room balls.
Funny in the living room, but that's it.
There's a big difference. Some people are, I call them family reunion or function funny.
You know, they're like, I'm at the barbecue, I'm the man. I'm like, but on stage, you stink.
Why'd you call us over, Mark?
Hey, cheers.
It's a natural conversation.
Before the baby's born, we gotta get on stage, so we have less than 8 weeks.
We're not going to change how we're going to look now.
No, but I will, because I have no practice or material, so I need as much time as possible in order to get up to par.
Well, you have to put your mind to it. In 5 minutes, you sit down and write what you want to talk about, and that's the end of the story.
But that's really disrespectful, maybe, to a lot of comedians out there who like.
I think it's overrated.
All right.
It's overrated.
This is a lifelong thing that we all do. So when people take comedy as a hobby, I'm like, fuck that.
See, the advantage I have over you guys is that I'm 71 years old, so I have more material to pick from.
And by material, Bert means being born during the war in Holland in 1941, getting in a near-fatal car accident, starting a basketball league, doing international car rallies, getting married, having 3 kids, all girls, riding horses, getting a brain tumor, surviving, doing triathlons, skydiving, starring in over 20 short films, getting a tattoo of himself on his shoulder at age 65, having both knees replaced, and even delivering the greatest
speech we have ever heard at a wedding.
I'm not going to embarrass them too much.
Which is why he would say,
I have done everything which you possibly can do.
And because of that, he wrote his entire stand-up routine in just 5 minutes.
You wrote your routine in 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, oh, I freaked out in the hospital or something.
No, it's not freaking out. It's
Could I have one example?
But I was being operated on a brain tumor. So my wife and kids deliver me. Guess what they're doing? They're going out in town, going to the room, having nice lunches, and then in the afternoon, call the hospital to see if I'm still alive and if they can come and visit.
See, I think that's more sad.
Yeah, where's the punchline to that?
But the punchline is that they're so comfortable, and me in the hospital and them in town. I mean, who does that?
What are you gonna do? Sit in the waiting room for a whole day? Come on.
Yeah, I guess the point is that social stories that are funny may not translate the exact same way on a stage where people are expecting some sort of punchline.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't been on stage.
You don't necessarily have to say the most clever or funny thing, but if you deliver things the right way, it will change the outcome of what you're saying.
I want to see who gets the biggest laugh, you or I.
I don't know if I'm a funny stand-up. I'm awkward. I don't like people looking at me walking.
Are you nervous at all, Shane, about bombing on stage at all?
Number one fear.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
As socially awkward as I am, I think he has traits of a socially awkward individual.
Like, I'm nervous a little bit right now with this camera pointed at me.
There's a comic called Simon Rakoff who has a great line. He says, comedy is less of a job and more of a personality flaw.
I have some material, but it's not for my routine. But I want to run it by you in kind of like an impromptu game. Newspaper headlines, fake newspaper headlines that I've come up with. And you have to imagine these are real in some world.
Okay.
Okay, so. Stepson says real mom gives better head. Abortion prank goes wrong, baby born. Blind man with boner and binoculars reveals secret. Priest with cum allergy dies at age 23. Kindergarten teacher wins boner contest during show and tell. Same kindergarten teacher moons class arrested for hairy asshole.
You can't just have a similar headline in the next day's paper. That's bullshit. How do you have same?
Nothing is off limits with comedy. As long as it ends with a laugh, you can get away with anything.
Oh, if you guys aren't laughing at my jokes, at least I can do this. So, could have helped it.
Older people don't get my jokes either.
Like I always tell young comics, I go, there are no rules. I can't tell you how to be funny, but I will tell you that if you want to be a stand-up, you only write and do what you think is funny.
That's why I feel like I've got to do the fart joke.
The asshole one?
Yeah, the asshole one. Because
I don't. What is that one?
Try your best to test it.
I don't know. I could try it right now.
Just try it.
Okay.
See, I find different people funny for different reasons. It's funny because sometimes Mark's very awkward and uncomfortable, and that to me is hilarious.
But I'm reminded that I'm a younger version of my dad every time I fart, because our assholes are shaped the exact same. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's this crazy thing that every time I fart, I'm like, oh my God, I'm my dad's son. And that got me thinking, and you know why I know my wife is a younger version of her mother?
Mm-hmm.
She's a bitch. She's a bitch. She's a bitch.
Good. That's not a good joke.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, fart jokes are stupid.
So the fart is a distraction. And then you think you're gonna say her asshole is shaved, but really you come in with she's a bitch.
Yeah. The wife thing caught me, as all good comedy does. The punchline catches you unawares because it comes laterally out of left field.
That's one of the most hack premises. I'm becoming my father.
Well, have you tried this on your wife?
Yeah, she doesn't like it.
No.
Like, did you ever watch Louis C.K.?
Yeah.
He's so brilliant at going right on that knife's edge of being incredibly offensive, and yet making it so authentic to his own sense of neurosis and maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Because when you're married, when you first get married, you have a relationship that's so important to you and you're working on it together. But then you have a kid and you look at your kid and you go, holy shit, this is my child. She has my DNA. She has my name. I would die for her. And you look at your spouse and go, who the fuck are you? You're a stranger. Why do I take shit from you?
So, where are we heading?
We're headed to the doctor's. And we're late. Because you had a messy crap.
How's the baby's moving? Good?
I think so. So you can't take the birth though. Well, you can film parts of the labor, but not the pushing.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's just between the two of you.
I wouldn't be filming, I would just have someone else film.
What?
And that's up to her.
During the labor?
Yeah,
No, there's nobody else in there, Mark.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Ryan is not coming into the room. You've
I
got to
don't
be
know.
absolutely ridiculous if you think that that's happening.
We talked about
No,
that.
we haven't.
Yeah, we
I
did.
never, in a million years, am having somebody from my first labor filming that, Mark. That's absolutely
Why are
ridiculous.
you doing that?
I can't believe you're actually considering that. It's disgusting.
Oh
It's
my.
absolutely disgusting.
So, Aaron and I aren't really talking to each other right now. And this has been going on for actually a couple days. You don't like me very much, do you? Making a movie isn't easy. And I don't think I ever thought it was easy, but I didn't think it was going to be this hard.
Just be patient. Just go, okay, I am an idiot. You'll be in a lot happier place.
You're right. I think that's your normal. It's about 106/60.
Is it?
I think is your normal.
Just because Mark's in the doghouse with his wife doesn't mean he should leave his fly down in front of us, eh?
He's old, but he's
Oh,
Jeez.
Caught him.
Right on camera.
My nurse, too.
All right, Shane Cunningham, walk for fitness. This is where the walk begins. You gotta wait till
Exercise is good for just about everything except dementia. And exercise is certainly useful as an antidepressant and as an anxiolytic.
One.
Do you have any fatherly advice? I'm just trying to dance here.
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
Learn how to fight. If you have a daughter, learn how to fight. If you have a son, learn how to fight as well.
Advice for being a father?
Get your sleep, because your life is going to change.
You should be sleeping. You shouldn't be getting a haircut.
I will say this about you being a dad. Do not wear the forward baby harness. Don't do that.
When I started this project, I intended on just saying random jokes. But now, the fact that I'm a soon-to-be dad makes me feel like that's what my material should be.
Yeah, and you know, when you have children, you know, it's funny, your stand-up changes because it becomes about them now. You know, I always talk about before I had kids, I was the star of my own movie. I was living in a porno musical.
One time, like recently, my daughter, you know, she goes, takes a poop, and she goes, will you, you know,
I'm ready to wipe me, you know, so I'm wiping her and she goes, you know, I'm old enough to wipe myself. And I go, that's great, honey. She goes, but I just love when other people do it. We all do.
A doctor could teach you how to do, you know, heart surgery. But I don't know if there's any way to really teach stand-up.
You probably want to have three things in any comedy piece that you create. The initials are DDS, and they stand for distraction, discovery, and surprise.
Some comedy is a surprise. You know, you surprise people. You bring them down, you know, a path. They think it's one thing, and then they go, oh, I didn't see that coming. Ah! So in that sense, maybe it's a magic trick.
You see, stand-up comedy is the verbal equivalent of stage magic, where a magician wants you to look over here when he's doing something over here, wants you to, this is going to happen when this happens. It's to keep you off guard, to distract you. As a matter of fact, magic is called the art of distraction.
My first thought is, wow, I fooled them again.
And the other D, which is discovery, means make sure that the audience invests in what you're doing and give them a little riddle to solve. Make sure that they have to do a little work. Otherwise, they're not going to invest in it, and they're not going to laugh. Yeah.
Is there an example?
Does laughter feel good?
Yes.
Endorphins, hello.
Laughter is euphoric, right? It produces endorphins and adrenaline and feelings of pleasure, laughter. It feels really good. What the body does is it laughs to reward itself for solving a puzzle or a riddle.
The reason that people love stand-up comedy and reading funny writing is actually because it makes them feel less alone.
You know when you're at the bank and you got nothing to do while you're waiting in line, so you just pick people to hate while you're waiting, you just look at someone and form an opinion with no information. And it's never positive. Who fucking wastes their time? I bet he's a hard worker. Who thinks about that shit?
A comic's job is to say everything that people are afraid to say.
Oh, look at that piece of shit. Hope he dies today. Oh, God, I hate him.
And when we say it, you know right away, because you can see the audience react, go, oh my God, yeah, that's me.
It's like, oh yeah, I kind of almost knew that. I almost thought of that.
Or that's what I was gonna say. You know, that's our job. We are your conscience.
And that challenge and that rush is very hard to compete with. The only thing that might be better than that is being a rock star.
Well, clearly I'm no rock star, and I should be focusing on writing my comedy material, but this morning something came to me.
Excuse me.
Not that. Words to a baby song that I've been thinking about writing for a while. But this is a little off topic, so let me come back to this later.
So what's going on today?
Basically we're just heading to my dad's apartment. He wants a lift to the bulk barn to pick up some ingredients for a dish that he calls the panty remover. Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. How are you?
How are you?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, good, good.
Have you talked to Mom lately?
No.
How's your energy level been over the last week or so? No, right?
You got to remain active.
Yeah.
It's like sex, use it or lose it.
I don't know what that means, but...
Well, that's why I'm showing you how passing on that chicken recipe.
What, it'll lead to...
Panty remover. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, from experience, the only pair that I ever got removed was your mother's, but she had to because we were married. So that don't count, I guess, eh?
So, no.
These guys are going to think your old man's nuts. Well, I am, but... I was a big shot. I used to live in Ancaster, big house up on the hill and everything. Then I fucked up on a nice lady. Messed her up. Boozing and whoring. And I lost her. I've been looking for her ever since. I can't find her.
Who are you looking for?
Nobody. I'm too old to look now.
I don't really have a fear of having children for some reason. Maybe because of the mom I had. like a 1950s type mom, just very much like born to be a mom. I think I've always been reassured that I'll be a good mother, and I hope I will.
You're natural with that goal.
Speaking of your sweet bod, how's the weight loss coming?
Whew, hit a bit of a rough patch. To be honest.
One of the best ways to get the audience to feel comfortable with you is to look like you belong up there. You've just been introduced, and that's what you found. Using good mic technique is one of the first things they'll see, because even before you've said a word, they're going to see you make the mic your own. Okay, so is the audience performing or you? Oh, that's much better. Very nice. We don't even like to ask rhetorical questions because there's always some goof who will answer it.
What's up with airline food?
Very nice. As far as writing your material, we talk a little bit about writing your material. When you do come up with an idea, first of all, it's a good idea to write on something that you have a passion for. Because in all likelihood, you've been writing on that topic without knowing it for years.
Can sex be funny?
Yeah, sex is very funny.
She reached down and she put her hand around my dick, and I fucking lost it. First of all, I came immediately, and also I started farting as I came. And
you know, whatever you find funny, you gotta find what you think is funny. I'd hope that the people watching share that with you.
The great Bobby Slayton has a very simple theory when it comes to comedy. If it bends, it's funny. If it breaks, it's his 16-year-old cousin's hymen.
Well, I definitely don't have any theories on comedy. All I know is that I grew up on The Simpsons and Seinfeld.
Death is number 2.
So when it came to making a documentary about stand-up comedy, I knew there was one guy I desperately wanted to interview.
Hi, Mark. We handle Jerry's PR. Unfortunately, Jerry must decline. Shit.
Fuck.
So I didn't get an interview with Seinfeld, but that didn't stop me from seeing his show when he came through Toronto. And it turns out a lot of his material was about being a dad and a husband.
One thing that he was saying about being a parent was that today's parents are way more into their kids' lives than his parents were. There's 6 kids in my family, so when Jerry's like, they don't even know our names! I'm like, yeah, you're right, because I would get like, Mark, Paul, Luke, Mike, Mark, get over here. So yeah, it is an interesting insight about today's parents, and I don't know why that is.
The role of father has changed a lot over the years and over the centuries, and today fathers are expected to be fully involved emotionally.
So we're on our way to our 36th week doctor's appointment.
Now you're expected to be right there, right? You've got to be right here to witness this, I think is what women want.
So this is a sort of new challenge for young men today to rise to their partner's expectation that they, as new fathers, will be totally on board.
157. Perfect. I mean, you'll be 36 and 6 the next time I see you, and term is 37 weeks. So it can be any time.
If the baby can be anytime, then so can our stand-up, which is a frightening thought.
For someone doing it for the first time, what advice would you have?
Do it a second time. I'm telling you, you have to do it continuously. You can't stop. You got to do it over and over and over again to at least get decent at it.
Well, technically, it's against our rules to do our routine in front of a crowd until the big day. So with a lack of options and material, we decided to hit the road and get inspired.
Yeah! Woo!
6 hours later, we were in the capital of comedy, Montreal, Quebec.
Tabarnak!
The Just for Laughs Comedy Festival was going on, and we felt instantly funnier. Luckily, I called ahead and got media passes. We didn't know where to go, so we got directions. The streets were empty, then packed. Patton Oswalt gave a keynote address, which he called
Sushi for breakfast.
People laughed. I didn't get it. Sean danced with the French lady. Bert did the funky chicken. It made us hungry. We ate and ate again. We took in the sights and posed awkwardly in the streets. Bert said randomly funny stuff.
If you want Asian horse, I got Calvin Klein's coming out of my eyeballs.
We decided to split up, and Bert said parting words. He told us he was going to buy booze. He did. We drank. Sean called Shane fat. It struck a nerve.
Fuck, man.
And Sean admitted to having his ass licked. We laughed, and Shane demonstrated. We went and saw some stand-up comedians.
This part was really funny. What was he talking about? I don't know. I was tweeting about the show.
Including Kevin Hart. Bert thought he was
very good.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that we even saw the Muppets. Afterwards, I went on stage because I thought it'd be a cool shot. It was. Too bad it was out of focus. I saw Mark Maron and told him I listened to his podcast. We chatted with Robert Schmeigel and he gave us encouraging words.
You suck.
Shane and Ryan had a rock, paper, scissors fight. It got heated.
Oh.
Shane got scared.
Seriously? Yeah, I was scared.
To relieve the tension, they went for a massage. It worked. The trip was over.
True story.
Actually, we couldn't leave Montreal without doing a Just for Laughs style gag with Bert and Shane.
But yeah, don't admit that I'm here, because we got to keep that a secret. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
You know Jim Carrey?
Do you know Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Look like him? It's not a pissing competition. I know him too.
It's not a fishing competition, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Bert, nice to meet you.
My name is Bert. Bert, I'm Ron.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Which way to the beach, man?
Are you going to the beach, man?
So what's it gonna take?
So what's it gonna take?
For what?
One night.
One night.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
I'm just kidding.
2 nights.
Can I have a bite of that corn on the cob?
How rude.
How rude.
Class of 74?
Class from 74.
We went to school together.
We went to school together.
I was your teacher.
If I was to slip 20 bucks in your pocket,
would cocaine magically appear?
Would cocaine magically appear?
No, unfortunately. Say, hey, I found Waldo.
Hey,
I found Waldo.
See, I don't understand him.
It's okay. It's okay.
Shane!
It's okay, Bert. Just
keep
back
the
out. Don't yell at me in the street.
It's kind of weird, but I actually find the baby belly to be very sexy.
Where are you running off without your husband?
The curves, the shape. It's like a nice butt or a sweet pair of titties.
Now, a lot of comics, they have terrible jokes, and that doesn't seem to hurt them, their career. I like to go with the good jokes. Hasn't helped me money-wise, but I sleep funnier at night, knowing that I have written good material.
Maybe it's funny, but I have now several nights in a row, throughout the night, done my stand-up in my dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been rewriting the
Good.
stuff that I was going to do to the point where basically I'm writing exactly what I've been dreaming.
That's good.
Is that the way you're supposed
Well,
to
I
do
like it personally because to me it's like you're.
That's the way.
I like it because you're capturing inspiration.
I mean, you have to be able to write to be a good comedian. There are very few successful comedians that aren't good writers.
I mean, you know, you can be a writer, you can sit in a room, and you can come up with the funniest jokes in the world, but if you can't stand on stage, you're just a writer.
So here I'm laying there, spread eagle, a nurse coming and starting to fiddle around with my dick. He said, what are you gonna do? She said, I have to put in this hose. So I said, okay, the hose. Mind you, this girl, she wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed.
That was really good.
For the last few weeks, I've been emailing Yuck Yucks Comedy Club trying to secure a spot for the 4 of us to perform on Amateur Night. And today, I finally got the email I was waiting for.
We've got the green light from Yuck Yucks, so we're performing in 2 weeks from now.
Just vomited. Sorry, what did you say?
Any other info you want?
No, I'm fine. I hope you are.
I'm not, but we'll see.
What is I have no, what's it called, material.
No, but we're just gonna cue a writing montage now.
This girl, she wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed.
I remember being 16, 17 years old though, and people started saying the average size of a penis was 6 inches.
Expectations are kind of, people might think I'm funny.
Which would have been fine if someone told me to measure when you're erect. Pause for laughter.
And to not be funny on stage, people might think, oh, that means he's not funny in general. And that's my fear.
I'm telling my life story. So if you don't like me, you don't like me.
It's almost like sex in a way. Take all your clothes off, be in a bed with somebody else, be vulnerable. It's embarrassing.
Well, if Sean was going to be a stand-up comedian, he certainly didn't get it from his father.
How do you think Shane will do in the comedy thingy?
I think Shane will do good. I think he'll be nervous at first.
But Mark, I fear that crickets will go, like start sounding.
How do you think Bert will do at stand-up comedy?
Lousy. Well, I have to be honest, Bill. I don't want to knock you.
I'm telling you, this cat is pure comedy. Happy birthday, Shane. 29 years young.
A lot of people would disagree with me very violently, but I don't believe that drugs and alcohol of any kind help your comedy.
Thoughts on my stand-up routine in 2 weeks. I'm scared to fucking death. I have no routine, man. I have no routine.
You have it in your mind. Kind of, yeah. I thought I did, and then I actually tried to write down what I was thinking, and I'm like, that's not a joke, and that's not funny.
And in she went through the back door. We're gonna do something that nobody else have ever done before.
I agree.
Oh, totally redeems himself.
I have never, in my 41 years that I'm married, gone to another woman.
Hand job or blow job?
A hand job has nothing to do with intercourse. Shane, am I right or am I wrong?
He's absolutely right. What do you think the key is to being funny on stage?
The key to being funny is being funny. That's what it is. Everybody's different. Some people are one-liner people.
Confessional. I guess I'm dirty.
I'm very personal.
I'm just very sort of chatty.
Conversational.
I'm kind of silly.
Raw.
I mean, I'm definitely like a storyteller.
I just tell stories and I play characters.
I'm really selfish. That's what I talk about myself a lot.
Well, okay, a lot of my humor obviously is pee-pee, poo-poo related, mostly dick size. The guy who's not circumcised is always like, oh, like Bert, for instance, is like...
My dick is much more sensitive than yours.
The last thing I want is to be any hornier than I am now. Like I could be like at a funeral anywhere and anyone's talking to me and all I'm thinking is, I really wish I was jerking off right now.
There's a school of thought that says that comedians are the last truth tellers in show business, in art.
Like when I was in high school, I was hesitant to do certain sexual things with my girlfriend at the time because I was like, I don't think her dad's gonna like this.
Right.
Is there something funny there?
Yeah, there is, definitely. That's got like an awesome lead up to something funny.
So what's funny after that?
Oh,
I guess but then I'd have to get dirty. I'm like, your dad's not gonna like this.
He wouldn't mind if you licked my balls though, a little bit more, probably. Your dad wouldn't mind a pinky up my asshole right now. I think that would be good.
I never had the pinky in the asshole. So
I know. I'm just saying licking or something. Yeah. I've never had a pinky in my asshole either.
I'll go, here's the punchline that comes to my mind. Okay, it's kind of obvious. So then what's the next step? Like, always take it 1 or 2 steps further.
But I'm worried that I'm going the crude route far too heavily in my routine.
But that's not that crude in this day and age. If this was the 70s, you'd blow people's minds.
Seinfeld.
But you're not Seinfeld. You're a hybrid of Seinfeld and someone else. That's what's funny.
The worst thing you can be is a clean comedian that sucks. It's like Christian rock. Come on, man.
And then I was gonna say I don't normally say titties, but it felt right.
Yeah, that's funny. Myers is probably the biggest oddball of this whole thing in terms of will he do good or not.
So I was talking to this older guy, his name may or not be Bert.
Bert's gonna kill it probably because he thinks he can, and we're probably not, even though we're probably more talented because we're unconfident in it. Sean is kind of like a young Bert in some respects, except he knows what's funny to a lot of extent.
I think I'm gonna include a lot of like obviously, you know, I like Asian chicks.
So I was fooling around with this girl, and she was like half Asian, half sexy. I don't know what the other half was, I just kind of added sexy.
Sean knows that he might not be the greatest writer, but he's willing to plow through it. And he might be a really good writer, but either way, he believes in himself so much that I think he'll do Bert-level numbers in terms of like audience approval. So everything you're doing, you're keeping it like light. You're not going to talk about your dad or anything like that, obviously.
No, it's kind of hard to joke about that.
I don't do stand-up to make people laugh. I do stand-up to make myself not cry. I think that's what it is.
But that's just how I deal with shit. Like, I know I joke about it a lot, but it's actually like really fucking like getting to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's really getting worse each week. You know, because it's like impending death, and I'm, you know, getting closer with the guy.
Well, there he is. Hey, Dad.
How'd they find out about the pantyman?
I let it slip.
That's a secret.
Family secret recipe?
That's a secret. It'll be all over the internet now. Wash your hands, put your apron on.
Let's do this.
If the heat's too high, the sauce is going to burn on you because it's liqueur.
But then if I have a couple little ones running around, I'm gonna blame the meal and you. You know what I mean? Write that down, use that in 10 days. It's delicious. Thanks, Pops. It's weird. Like, the last couple times I've been there, he's like, hugged me like twice and been very open about like, I love you, son. That shit never used to happen when I was younger.
Drive carefully.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
See you tomorrow?
Yep, I'll call you tomorrow in the morning.
Accept who you are and where you are in your life as often as possible and for as long as possible, because it just doesn't last that long.
Nice.
How many beats there?
148.
It's a boy.
No, girl. Over 140 girl.
Oh, I thought it was over 150.
I think a guy like me deserved a girl. And to be honest with you, it's actually easier for a guy to have a girl because they turn you into a daddy right away. You know, like they can melt you. A boy makes you a little more hard, you know, not your penis, I hope. But it makes you more, you know, makes you more like, that's my boy, we're gonna throw the ball around, we're gonna do this and that, you know? And a little girl makes you like soft, you know, makes like, it's my little girl, whatever she wants to do, you know what, we're gonna go and listen to Yo Gabba Gabba right now, and that's the way it's gonna go.
Listen to this. It's not the fault of the wife. They found out that the men have just a slow sperm, and that's why they don't get boys. There you go.
What happens to women in pregnancy is something in their brain clicks, and it's like they get a little crazy.
Aaron, what do you want to do with these balloons?
Kill them.
They just say certain things. You're like, where is that from? This isn't the person I know. Who are you?
Don't stab the baby. What are you doing? They're balloons. Aaron, why are you doing that? Let the balloons be balloons.
Because they've been here for 2 weeks and they're taking up valuable space.
Are you kidding me? That is sad.
Stop acting.
Because there is so much fear
Yeah.
involved with pregnancy. What can go wrong?
Oh, really?
What can go wrong on stage?
Well, there's a lot of things that can go wrong.
Women especially are afraid of the pain,
I've had people throw stuff at me,
that the cord is going to get wrapped around the baby's neck.
the microphone cut out.
People are also afraid of the epidural.
I exhaled through my nose really hard and just a bunch of snot came out. It was funny though.
My biggest fear is that there's going to be a group of doctors and I'm going to shit everywhere.
Yep. While you're pushing, oh my God, what if that thing happens?
Well, a lot of comedians, of course, fear taking a shit on stage, you know. But I don't get it, you know. When I do it, it always kills.
But we need to move on and look mostly at the positive.
Right here, enjoy your last day of work.
And I think that will actually make things happen in a more positive way.
What can really go wrong? What's the worst thing that can happen?
Everywhere.
With only 1 week before we all had to go on stage, we went to Yuck Yucks to see what we were getting ourselves into.
Usually amateur nights, I don't know if you've been here before, if you're familiar with them, it's a roller fucking coaster, is what it is.
They say it's an amateur night. My ass.
If the Bible had started out with the story of Adam and Steve, I'm pretty sure things would have gone a lot better, don't you think?
Coming here was like huge eye-opener. One, I didn't expect that many people to be there. I thought amateur night was just like, you know, dead crowd.
Coming to Toronto and Yuck Yucks, it's kind of like the mecca of comedy clubs, and we're really being thrown into the mix here, and I did not expect that.
I learned a lot because, first of all, you're familiar with the room now.
Oh, we wait over there?
It rattled my confidence. Like, I wish I didn't come tonight, to be honest with you. I almost want to invite a few friends for support at this point.
I don't want to invite a soul.
You're not bringing your wife?
Are you kidding?
Like, it's not like the people I invite would support me more. They would just be more embarrassed for me.
We accepted the challenge, but it is a challenge.
Great.
That's what you want to do.
That's not making the dog. This is the corniest thing I've ever seen.
Then delivery. Is delivery the thing that's most important? Maybe talk about...
Delivery?
Delivery's everything. It's everything.
Delivery is the only thing.
It's really important. Delivery and time is every damn thing.
It's almost like the most important thing that you can have.
Delivery, timing, the structure of the joke, when to get the laugh, how to get the laugh, how long to wait for the laugh, when is the audience with you and when they're not with you, how do you know when a joke doesn't or does work? Sure, that again, the difference between a funny person and a professional comedian.
So no matter how well you write something and how well you are at emulating stand-up comedians that you've seen, there are some things that only a couple hundred sets would be able to teach you.
So are we done? See, that was timing.
But you know what they say? If you can walk on stage, you're halfway there. Bam!
Well, it's clear that we're in over our heads, and Bert just sent some more bad news. I got a text message from Bert.
Yeah.
He said he has bronchitis. He was at the hospital.
What?
Yeah.
So what the fuck does that mean? He can't do it?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm almost ready to say go fuck the whole thing.
Oh, really? Okay, so Bert might be out, but I can't let that stop me from writing and rewriting my comedy material. I just thought I should mention that I'm extremely nervous being up here. But you'd think that by having I've got a pregnant wife. Fuck. Wow. We could really use another montage right about now.
We don't care about the packaging as guys. We don't. Because,
You know, my girlfriend is here to support me. Sits somewhere out there.
You have to expect the unexpected. That's why they call it expecting.
call guy code. I know guy code very well. I live by it.
Sometimes it's like inside my body, like a little weird dick vagina.
It's like I've had the mind of a 40-year-old dad.
You're just gonna rip that open? You're just gonna open that?
Hey, Danielle just said she can do my routine better than me, so let's see.
But me, a regular man, we know. Wait, scrap it.
It's weird, because it's not like the baby's a hurricane.
It's weird, because every time Weekend Bernie's 2 comes on, it reminds me of Asian nurses getting gangbanged.
For my unborn child!
Plus, it's been 9 months since I've seen a vagina, so I don't, like, you don't want to see a vagina coming out of a vagina.
Did you know you can use them for not only just porn, but as a phone also?
I like my ribs like I like my women, Dad.
All right.
A little as fat as possible. And that is a fact. Thank you.
That's my time, thank you very much. I fucked up the donkey line.
5:19.
What do you think of the asshole joke? I was going to end on it because it's one of those jokes that's like not that funny, but it's a good way for me to get out of there.
Yeah, no, it's funny enough, but and it's your patented joke you've been saying for years, so you should end on it.
With only 1 day before the big show, I got a last-minute text message from Bert.
Hey, read it.
Still fever. We'll be there tomorrow. What time?
So although Bert's not feeling 100%, the important thing is he's in. Way to go, Bertie boy.
All right. First time you got on stage, you remember that?
I do. It was November of 1999 at Yuck Yucks on a Tuesday night at Yonge and Eglinton, and I was horrendous.
And back then, when you bombed, they had TVs above you, and they would play video clips of like an explosion, a car crash, or a scene from like Raging Bull where the guy gets beat up.
Yeah, the first time I did stand-up, I have it on tape. I was so afraid I couldn't move my mouth. I thought I was gonna die. Like, I almost didn't do it. I almost bailed last minute, especially because all my friends were there. Because, hey, Brian's funny, let's go see him. 80 people showed up. I was like, what is this? I can't do this.
The first time you're on stage, just don't even think about it. I wouldn't even look at the audience. I would just take a deep breath and hope that you hyperventilate and collapse and you reschedule.
Someone got a comedy show to kill? Hey! Let's do this, guys, seriously. I'd have 2 beers before I could do this.
That's his
Bert, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. Aside from the fact that I picked up some bronchitis, I'll tell you one thing. We're gonna let our egos down at the door, and we're gonna make horses' asses of ourselves inside.
Cheers to that.
Thanks for stealing my speech.
I actually feel sick to my stomach.
What's going on? You hurt?
Racing?
Hurts, yeah.
It hurts? You think you have a heart attack?
No. But issues.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just overly anxious and worried.
I felt good until I got here, and then you're like Bert's calming me down, but freaking me out also. And then you guys are so nervous. That it makes me nervous.
I'm fine. What's all this? I'm fine. I'm nervous as fuck.
So what's your first line?
My first line is, before I get to the hilarity, I just wanted to.
Say something like that.
Yeah, I just want to. I blacked out. I forgot my first line right now. No, just.
That's my move.
Come on,
All right,
man.
it's
telling you the first lines that you
slow down.
I was feeling really confident, like before seeing Mark and Shane and how they're really nervous, and Bert's freaking me out a little bit.
What? Am I being taunted? Guy could have no arms, no legs, no job, huge cock.
You're not surprised. You're just pissed. Like when I was in high school, I'd be fooling around with my girlfriend.
Yeah, it seems weird to be trying it now. Before I get started with hilarity, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Mark Myers in the crowd tonight.
It's hard to explain, but I've always thought like a dad.
I like to touch my cock and imagine I'm fucking other women.
I just want, what is it?
I don't know why everybody is nervous. Either they don't know their material.
Okay, from the top.
Or they have never stood in front of a number of people.
Like this must be how you feel when you're going to prison.
I remember it all. Good luck on there.
You guys. Do a 10 applause for your next act, Phil Menard.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you. Before we get started, I have a friend in the crowd I just want to give a quick shout out to. His name's Mark. He's having a kid with his wife in like a week. It's their first child. So, yeah, round of applause a little bit. Yeah. If you run into Mark, you'll notice he's scared shitless, and I told him he has no reason to be. Life is a lot easier now. The kid will be fine. Raising kids is easier than it used to be. If you want a song, you can just hop on iTunes, and one click, you got that shit. I'm damn near 30, and I remember not too long ago, if I wanted a song, I had to physically leave my house to get that. Or I would tape that shit. You guys ever do that with a cassette, like off the radio? You always miss the first few seconds. So life's a lot easier. And porn, holy shit, you don't even need to wait for it to download. You can just stream it. Yeah, you just watch, it's crazy. And they have a lot of those sites now where it's like the thumbnail's there, and you can put the cursor over the thumbnail, and it will like jump ahead to all the highlights of what's about to happen. In case you don't want to commit, and you're like, holy shit, those Asian nurses do get gangbanged in that. Clicking that, and watching that.
It was like he had been on stage like for 50 hours or more.
I love Asian chicks, it's a real problem. What's up, girls?
And people laughed at him like very early on, and it kind of just built, and then they were dying at every single thing he said.
Thanks, bro. It's called guy code. I know guy code very well, I live by that shit. But tonight, guys, I'm sorry, because I'm gonna break guy code.
When Sean went up there and started killing it, honestly, I went to the washroom and I said, fuck this. I said, I can't do it.
I guess, no, I'm serious, I'm gonna break it tonight.
Just a joke, you know me, always joking.
Concerns you too. You know what I'm talking about. The nude pics you're sending your man on the cell phone, knock that shit off, okay? I'm gonna let you in on something. He shows his friends. That's what guys do, and I've seen it. Sometimes it ends up on my cell phone. And until recently, it wasn't a problem. It was really fucking cool. But now, one of my buddies is getting married later this summer. And we all have to pretend we didn't see that shit. And it's hard for me because I'm gonna be one of the groomsmen, and I'm gonna be standing up there in front of 200 friends and family members. Every time I look at the bride, I'm picturing her finger banging herself in a Led Zeppelin t-shirt.
Sean was very good, but I wondered what drugs he was on because he was so fast. I could barely understand what he was saying.
I've been seeing this one chick for the last few months, and we're fooling around. And she's Asian. Unfortunately, she's not a nurse. Otherwise, I'd invite everyone over for a good old-fashioned gangbang. I'm kidding. That's ridiculous. It's Tuesday. It's more of a Friday night activity. Anyway, so she's like half Filipino, half sexy. I don't know what the other half was. I just added sexy, but she's hot. And she's taking her shirt off, and I'm about to take her bra off, and she stops me, and she's like, what are you doing?
You're just gonna take it off? And girls do this shit. Like, you're not even gonna take the time to appreciate this? Because this is 2012 Victoria's Secret, okay? I got this shit for you. Same shade as your birthstone, okay? This is for you. That's like getting me a present on Christmas for my birthday, some shit, and sliding it over, and I'm all excited. And then all of a sudden I'm stopped, and it's like, what are you doing? You're just gonna open that shit? I took the time to custom wrap that for you, okay? The cute little bows and ribbons and the glitter and the right light, it spells out your name and that I love you. Just gonna rip it out? Yes, girls, that's what we do. We don't give a shit about the packaging, okay? We don't give a fuck about the wrapping, we just want the present. Okay, so no matter how much time you spend picking out this perfect bra, all the money you're spending, the time, it will never, ladies, look as good on you as it will on your man's bedroom floor, and that is a fact. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Sean's like a cocky guy, but he actually lived up to his cockiness.
Fucking so good, man. So good.
I wish I could like go back up and do it again because I have more confidence now. Like I was so nervous before I went. Yeah, I'm just happy I didn't bomb.
Your next act, Bert Van Lierop.
Thank you. I wish that was going first. I hate to get all these germs from all the other people. Anyway, folks, I'm Bert. I'm 71 years young. I got 3 daughters. They're not available. A wife for 41 years, and after tonight she might be. But anyway, that didn't get a better laugh than that.
He was very calm. Like I understood words that he was saying, even though he has that Dutch accent, which I thought was gonna be a problem.
Come to think of it, when my kids were in their mid-teens, I made them a deal. If you stay away from the real thing, I'll give you all a vibrator and the batteries included. It's cheaper than a shotgun matting.
Bert was getting a lot of laughs, but then he started really taking a long time with no real joke.
November the 28th, 6 o'clock in the morning, I had my last smoke. Haven't smoked since. They wheeled me into the operating room. And they were going to replace both my knees at the same time. I lay on the operating table. I call that the slab. So finally a nurse starts to fiddle around with my dick. She looks at me and she says, "Were you recently down south at a clothing optional beach?" Strange for you people?
I don't know, he was fucked up. There wasn't a lot of jokes. It was more just like long, aimless stories about being old and being in a hospital.
Here, I don't know whether you're aware of it, but they monitor not only your ignition and your circulating pump. You know what it is? That's your heartbeat and your blood pressure. Circulating pump.
I don't know if there's any way to say it, but Bert bombed.
You get so frickin' constipated, it's not even funny. After 5 days, I still hadn't had a stool. She said, "Bertie boy, roll over," and in she went through the back door. I should have known. She was wearing gloves, but I don't think she was wearing loops. So it's not the type of stuff they, I think, are used to or want to hear. So anyway, thank you for being so nice.
I feel bad for Bert. I feel bad personally that I didn't help him more.
Oh, God forbid, this was my first and last.
Good work, Bert. I was like, yeah, I can do this. Okay, I can do better than Bert at the very least.
Shane Cunningham.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. This is also my first time doing stand-up. Girlfriend came out to support me. This is her right here. Give a little wave. She's got a nice little smile. Got a nice little body. She's got some nice little titties, actually. She does. I'm saying it's one of the main reasons I like her, actually. Not because she has small tits, but because she's comfortable having small tits. You know, I'm kind of jealous as a guy. Like, girls are so open about that type of thing. Like, her friend Jenny, they'll be shopping in the mall. She'll pull out a top and she'll say, Danielle, this top would look good on you. And she'll go, with my little titties? She'll go, maybe if I had your huge tits. I'm paraphrasing here, by the way. I don't think she actually says titties, but I like to think that's the way girls talk behind our backs, fellas. You know, like, you'll never see two guys in, like, the swimwear section. Like, hey, Steve, these trunks would look great on you. With my small dick? Maybe if I had your monster cock.
I knew Shane would have, like, some of the best, like, written material. It's just a matter of, like, how calm he'd be.
But if a guy's a big dick, everybody's gonna know about it. You could have, you know, no job, no arms, no legs, huge cock. Everybody in the neighborhood knows about it. Here comes Big Dick Joe again. And look how great he looks in those swim trunks. Fuck, I forgot the end part of that, but it's funny, the beginning.
He kind of used his girlfriend Danielle as a prop throughout it, and she was able to, like, let him know where his jokes were at, and the audience really seemed to dig that.
Right, what I was gonna say was, because I have an average-sized penis when it's erect. And I'm not bragging here, but sometimes I cannot locate it unless I'm popping a boner. So the only ones who have seen it are the ones who have seen it erect. You know, like my ex-girlfriends, my current girlfriend, Jenny, and my Uncle Bob. Well, guys, it's not what you sickos are thinking, okay? He's a doctor. I was 7, and he molested me. I'm kidding. I was 9 at the time, but men love to masturbate. I know. Was that a woman? Yeah.
Shane wasn't trying to be so polished, and because he messed up a few times, the people, like, loved him for it.
Because I'm one of those guys, I always get busted for getting to clear the internet history. Like, she's never caught me jerking off, catches the internet history every fucking time. She turns the computer screen to me and she goes, oh, is this what you're into now? And I said, first of all, yes. Okay, scrap that fucking joke. There's gonna be a fight here. To rectify the situation, I had to get one of those portable porn machines. Does anyone have one of these things? They're amazing. Yeah, cell phones. Yeah, thanks for ruining the joke, Gaj. Thanks for coming. Yeah, they're fucking iPhones, okay? Yeah, that's the joke.
The crowd was good. It was weird. At some points, the crowd was so forgiving, and I was like, I'm Superman. I'm just gonna say anything. And then I'm like,
a donkey can actually shit out its asshole.
And then they're like, ooh, that's a line we don't want to go to. So I was like,
sorry, guys. That was just a joke. Anyways, thanks. I ended on a high note. Thank you. That's my job.
I feel like amazing because, like, I feel like I'm out of prison right now.
Mark likes to put himself in uncomfortable situations for some odd reason. Considering he's so uncomfortable at certain things, it's weird.
Gotta learn how to use one of these things. I'm gonna go off the mic here. Hello. So my wife's pregnant, and we're expecting our first baby 1 week from tonight. A little round of applause for that. And she's out there. So Shane was mentioning Danielle. She got all the limelight. My wife's right over here, Erin. There she is. So I'm pretty excited about being a dad. I've always wanted to be a dad, and we've actually decided to wait to find out what we're having. But honestly, I don't care. I just want the baby to be happy and healthy and have a dick. You know, I'd love a baby girl, but unless they're serving popcorn and Ridley Scott's in there directing, I don't know if I could see a vagina come out of a vagina. That just might freak me out a little too much. And so when people hear that we're waiting to find out what we're having, they're always like, oh, wow, that's so great. Good for you, you know? Because it's like the last real surprise you get in life. Or life is, no, that's wrong. It's like, they've never said that. what they say is, that's great, because there are so few surprises in life. It's like, first of all, I don't even know if that's true, and second of all, it's not really a surprise. It's a 50-50 shot. It's like, it's a boy, yay, or it's a girl, darn. You know? Let me just adjust this mic while I think of what I was going to say next. It's a girl, darn. Darn, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. No, it's a girl, darn. Ah, shoot. No, not that. It's like when you go, it's like, oh, shit, I'm lost.
When I was watching Mark forget and black out on stage, like some people in the audience were laughing, but I was like cringing, like, oh my God, he's potentially bombing.
So wait, where was I? It's, no, shoot, sorry, I need to concentrate. So what was my last joke?
And I was like, get the joke, Myers. Get the joke, Myers.
Somebody yell it out. It's a girl. Yeah, 50-50 shot. Oh yeah. So it's like when you go to the casino and you
the fact even that you fucked up on some of your jokes and lost it didn't matter because people liked it.
So I've always wanted to be a dad. You know, I've mentioned that before, and it's hard to explain, but let me try. So when I was in high school, I remember I didn't like, when I was fooling around with my girlfriend, I used to get mad. Fuck. I didn't get mad, so that doesn't sound right. Let me just sit down. Okay, I've always wanted to be a dad, and it's hard to explain, but when I was in high school, I used to feel bad when I was fooling around with my girlfriend because I thought I would offend her dad. You know, and I remember the first time I was about to get a blowjob, and I was like, whoa, I don't know if we should do this. Your dad's upstairs. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't appreciate it. Besides, it's kind of demeaning. And you kiss your mother with that mouth. You know, and it's like I've always had the mind of a 40-year-old dad, but the problem is my dick's constantly 18. And blood is like a conch. Whoever has it does the talking. So when she's down there, it doesn't take long for the blood to follow. And when it does, it's like, whoa, that feels pretty good. Oh, yeah. I bet your dad wouldn't mind if you licked my balls a little bit, too. Ooh, yeah, daddy likey. Yeah, my wife loves that joke.
And then the crowd just almost like loved him more once he recovered because he recovered so well.
I once got a boner looking at my wife's belly. You know, that may sound strange, but there was a porno being projected onto it at the time, so that's my excuse. So you get a lot of advice when you're a soon-to-be dad, and the one I hear most is, you better get your sleep now while you still can, because you won't be able to get any when the baby comes. But it's not like the baby's a hurricane and sleep is some non-perishable food item that you could like store away. But it'd be cool if it was. It's like, honey, where's the sleep? Oh, it's in the cupboard next to the box of broken dreams and cans of free time. It's like, oh yeah, there it is. Oh, wait a minute, we've got a lifetime supply of sex and blowjobs that we seem to have forgotten about. There's dust all over it. Yeah, I know, I put it there, leave it alone. Oh, well, do you think I could have one after dinner? No. All right, well, I'm just gonna go work on the computer.
There was a guy sitting beside me. We both like looked at each other. We're like, yeah, this guy's fucking hilarious.
So I ran into a 71-year-old man not too long ago. He's got 3 kids. And I was like, oh, so do you have any advice? And he's like, why, yes, I do. He says, how far along is your wife? I say 8 months. He's like, oh, my daughter was 8 months pregnant. The baby was gonna be there in 3-4 weeks and it died. It happens quite often, so I'm not gonna scare you, but be aware. It's like, you know what? I forgot my pen, but sadly I'm never gonna forget that fucking story. You know, what I think he meant to say was, when you're an expecting parent, it's all about expecting the unexpected, which is very true. Why he didn't say that, I'll never know. Speaking of assholes, the older I get, the more I realize that I'm a younger version of my dad. And I'm reminded every single time I fart. It's the weirdest thing. It's like our assholes are shaped exactly the same, creating an identical sound. It's like, well, I guess I'm my father's son. Anyway, it got me thinking, and you know how I know my wife's a younger version of her mother? Because she'll be a great mom. That's it, thank you. Shit.
Wow, so fucking good, man. That was good.
Oh my God.
That was fun.
I've been anticipating this night for such a long time, so the fact that it's like over, I'm extremely happy. Like a week ago, I thought, you know, my heart was gonna explode in my chest. So the fact that I don't have to do it again is like the most relieving thing in the world.
Sean, like, I don't know. It's weird. He fucking like murdered that. It's kind of a piss off because Sean and I have always been like rivals.
Thanks, man. You did really well yourself.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah, like way better. I thought I'd be crying right now. And the fact that people, like anyone, even like comes up and says, "Hey, good job," it makes you feel like you're on ecstasy or something.
I set out exactly what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to change it. I'm not for the type of stuff you guys come up with. It's not my cup of tea. BS about porn and all that kind of shit. I'm too old for that.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
You did well up there.
Actually, this is my dad's shirt from the 70s, so he couldn't come out tonight, obviously, but in a way, like, he was kind of here tonight. You know, hearing the crowd laughter and seeing the sun up there, I think he'd I feel like he'd be really proud.
I'm glad that it's all over. You know, I kind of feel bad about some of my material because I don't know if it's like kid-friendly. I don't know if it's the best thing I could have said, you know, almost having a kid. But if my kid doesn't like what I said, I hope he likes what I did. So, you know, I tried. So I'm happy about it. Time for the baby. So I just got a text from Erin. She said she thinks she's having contractions.
She's totally on labor mark.
Hello, my name is Mark Myers. My wife is Erin Bartley, and we just started contractions here at home.
Oh, wow, exciting here. You need your nipples tweaked?
You think your water broke? You want a shower?
Hello. I have a pregnant wife here for you guys.
So today is the due date. Erin's due date's today. It's been 40 weeks. Still no baby.
So they want to start pushing soon.
My heart's beating. You ready? The thing that I wanted to say at my wedding that I didn't get to say, because I got choked up and wasn't able to finish my speech, but I wanted to talk more about Erin.
As you know, I met her on a streetcar party, not the most romantic of settings. And actually, it made me think when I was coming up with what to say here, it made me think of when I first told her I loved her. And that's also not one of the most romantic of ways, because it was in the email. There's good reason why I decided to say in the email when I was away was she had sent me a care package. Well, it's a card and
So when I got that care package in the mail, I was like, you know what? I love this girl. Like, I love her because she's showing so much love and thoughtfulness.
Come on, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Take a breath. Give us another one.
anyway, your kindness.
And part of the reason why I knew that I could be with Erin for the rest of my life and that I could marry her is because I knew that she was going to be a good mother.
Good job, Erin.
322.
Baby's out.
What is it?
We don't know yet.
Dad, what is it?
It's a boy. You did it,
It's funny that over 300,000 babies are born every day, but for me, this means everything. I've said it before, but I've always wanted to be a dad. And thanks to Aaron and baby Zachary, I can finally call myself one. Just in time for Father's Day.
Well, today's Father's Day. So it's pretty much will be my last Father's Day with my dad. You know what? I kind of like this one.
Rare and valuable. Wouldn't trade you for anything. Happy Father's Day. Love from your favorite son, Sean. This card reminded me of you and all the times we used to spend collecting baseball cards. I'm very glad we have been able to spend more time together lately. A very nice card. Thank you very much, Sean.
Yeah, it reminded me of you when I saw it.
Watch my arm. Thank you very much.
No problem. Happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No problem. It was essentially 9 months battle with terminal cancer, and I saw him every weekend. And he became a different person, you know? He was not the father I grew up knowing. He was better, almost. Hey, Dad.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, you? People say I'm sorry about your loss, but I have to almost say it's like, it's not a loss, like I felt like I gained.
Love you.
Love you too. What would you have done if you had more time?
Well, I'd have been totally different. I'd have a family today if I had it totally different.
You know, I guess it's maybe the one positive to cancer, you know, and that wouldn't have happened if he didn't get sick. I wouldn't have spent that much time with him. We wouldn't have had a bond.
I can honestly say that in his last moments on this earth, in his last breaths, that bond was never stronger. So I know he's looking down, looking proud, and I love you, Dad, and I'll continue to make you proud. Thank you very much for coming today.
And I recycle, see, to save the planet for my grandchildren, so you gotta have kids. That thing is not to play with, it's to use. It's a tool.
I think I told somebody passed away, and they were like, you gave the worst news the best delivery. Because they were like, I would have been upset if somebody else told me this, but the way you told me made me feel like it was okay. I don't remember how or what I said. I wish I did, you know, but it was something like, oh my God, hey, did you hear that so-and-so died? It's incredible.
And I'll tell you, if you want to keep a family, and you might not, or you might be indifferent to it now, but as you get older, Mark, you'll be the sorriest sucker on earth. You'll wind up my age and you'll have shit. Honest to God. You'll have shit. You'll think you have a son, and you may not. Only time will tell.
Shit, man. I want my baby to know that I can't sing, but I'm trying.
I've wanted you forever, forever I will want you to laugh and to be happy, 'cause you're my little baby.
Wow, I sound terrible.
May your mind be always learning, your body always healthy. I want you to be happy. 'cause you're my little baby.
Yeah, look how high you're jumping.
May your heart be kind and gentle, your hand be ever helping. I want you to be happy.
Way to go, Zachy.
'Cause you're my little baby.
Yeah. Be careful,
May
Zachy.
your life be what you dream, your dream be what you wish, your soul be ever youthful and passionately curious. Soon you will be grown up and no longer a child. But I'll love you forever, 'cause you'll always be my baby.
The fuck, man? Why did you try and get a hold of me? I did. I paged you.
That's officially, I think, my first bomb. So I'm 50%.
What the hell did you use? Viagra or Cialis? Hey Mark, who wrote this thing?